Good afternoon. Welcome to another podcast with myself and Dr. Sohail Nasti, founder of Mother Helpage, a humanitarian charity. And today we're going to have a discussion about how humanitarian organizations contribute and help to promote global peace. Hello, Doctor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Lovely to see you again.
Pleasure, all mine.
So, the overarching question I think everyone would have about this is, do you set out developing a humanitarian organization for charitable acts with the idea that it's going to help promote global peace, or is that sort of a consequence of that, a positive consequence?
I think charity's definition is a bridge between sufferings and hope. So whether it is materialistic way, so I suppose some people need relief or some other support. But I think overall, it is really to give hope to people. And peace is also the biggest dimension of that. So I think in the modern world, global organizations need to play a huge role in bringing these peaceful changes in the world and to be the advocates of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we might play a bit bigger role as well in that, because the charities who work on ground, they are the live representatives of the suffering of people. They see what these wars and famines and all these things cause to the humanity, and that's why I think peace building through charity is very important.
So is it an after effect, whereas in essence that humanitarian charitable organizations aren't promoting peace, but actually war is causing the greater need for humanitarian causes and charity organizations?
When we were in the school, people used to say, teachers used to teach us that nip the evil in the bud. So I think this is the root cause. Rather than, charities wait for the destruction. Okay, yeah, we cannot stop the natural disasters, but we can stop the man-made disasters.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's war, whether it's climate change, whether it's whatever, I think we need to be proactive. I think charities need to be proactive rather than to wait for any mishap happens and then we act on it. It's better to be proactive and try to stop what's happening around the world.
And so how did you choose to become a humanitarian through your own profession? And
as I said, every human is a humanitarian because the part of the name is initial part of it, is human. So Tarian is what delivers his services to the world. So as I said, yes, and when I was a teenager, I never thought about it until my mother taught me, and then after I lost that great soul, and then I realized that no, you have to be in the world to be good to everyone. And then my professional qualifications, they polished my this vision, and I thought better to help others. And I think great people, strong people, are those who always think to give others.
mm-hmm.
And that's the best. A richness of a people is to give, not to grab. Some people think, I'm going to grab everything. I have 200 houses and this and that. Everybody can have that. But I think the great people, you need to have a lion heart to go out and to help other people. And that's the best thing. So, and it gives you satisfaction as well. When you see, at least, only thing is the Almighty is there to support people, but we are just the sources of it. We never say, I am doing it, because if I say I'm doing it, so that's really ethically and religiously wrong as well. Mm-hmm. Almighty has chosen us to do the services for people, and that we should believe in that.
Do you think that there was an influence for you being a Kashmiri, coming over to a first world country like the United Kingdom, and becoming in more privilege, obviously, you come from humble beginnings, and then you come to the United Kingdom, and you come from a third world to a first world country. Do you think that's an advantage that you have, and that's what led you to sort of go back to your roots and follow sort of your mom's guidance and thinking about charity and underprivileged
You know, these
people.
two horizons, they say, from a background from Kashmir and my life in UK and other countries I studied and traveled, it has given me a kind of that balance and the difference between
The perspective.
perspective of what I was having before and what I achieved. And these two things have widened, broadened my vision as well to be more proactive and to be more contributory to the world rather than to be kind of like a scavenger, like get all everything for me. I think these I really that's what I'm saying. This country and I have been in the association of great people who have taught me to be someone who, when you leave this world, leave your stamp in the world. So that's what I work on. That will be my. Somebody told me how you rate yourself as a successful person in the world. I told him when I leave this world, I'll see how many people's eyes will be watery for me, how many people will, shed their tears for me. That will be my. So rest is the history. When I go, nobody will remember me after a week or two. But if I do something good in the world, at least people can pray for me.
And you think that that's sort of infectious or contagious? Like, do you think that passes down? So it's passed down from your mother to you. Do you think it's sort of something that has actually a generational impact? So what you leave, maybe don't forget you, but Mother Helpage carries on, and then it passes on, and then people are influenced by your charitable work, and they carry on more, and it broadens. How has Mother Helpage broadened since you started, and what do you see in the future for how it will broaden after
No,
after
see,
you're gone?
no, definitely. See, when I lost my mother, I used to go in my small car to visit some poor people in the villages to treat them because I was a doctor. Then now we are in more than 40 countries operating and now thinking about global peace. And from a small giving a paracetamol to a villager for his headache, and now I'm talking about how we can talk to the bigger governments in the world to tell them, look, guys, enough is enough. We can't see more bloodshed in the world. And this is how Mother Helpage has grown and groomed me as well and guided me to think positive. So I think this is my exposure in these countries and through this organization, which has given me the platform to see the sufferings in the countries we work in. And then I realized, no, better to have advocacy, have the mediation, and tell the world, no, it's not right.
But when you talk about war and recovery of war, and you yourself worked as a rescue pilot in your own background, not just a doctor, so there's a huge impact in what you're doing today in your own personal life. It's easy to take a look at you, Dr. Sohail Nasti, doctor, rescue pilot, and then coming from a mother with a very huge influence in your life on charity and growing up as a Muslim and zakat, all of those like value system. It's easy to see, but you're facing a world, even particularly Kashmir, where you come from, which is just conflict, and it's deepening rather than getting better. So you're sort of fighting an uphill battle, 2 steps forward, 10 steps back sort of a situation. You want to stay apolitical. So that's really complicated. So in that complexity, how do you stay apolitical and also be a strong voice for in a conflict zone, being neutral, but also promoting peace?
Yeah. See, our vision is the apolitical is only we address the consequences of the wars. We don't support or whether this war is right or wrong. We don't say any comment on that. We don't even say, this country is on the right side or this is wrong. So what we suggest is both the countries. Suppose if the war between two countries, what we try to say is, look, there is destruction of wealth, lives, and the trauma it causes to people over generations. We don't realize that these small wars to show the might of the countries, how much they are ruining their own people, how much trauma they are putting in their small children's minds, and how they're going to thrive in the future. We are
You
seeing.
talked about mental health as well.
Yes, I'll give an example. When we see the military parade of the countries, example,
The two countries.
they showed bomber B-52s. They show these. We have these missiles. They go on long range missiles. They boast about it, but I have never seen any country talking about we have for the poverty. We have brought it down from this person to that person in the last 4 years. We have improve the health sector. We don't have to wait for even in our country here in NHS, you have so long wait. Why this? There should be an improvement because now the AI is there. Rather than we focus on Ukraine and Russian war, we need to focus on our own streets here. Our people are sleeping on streets. Our people are not getting seen in NHS as very quickly as they need. So these are the things what these wars are diverting us to the other side. We need to be developmental. We need to think positive. Our roads need to be safe. Our future needs to be safe. So these are the things which I think we are investing on the wrong things rather than to be more developmental.
Development is sort of one of your main focuses with Mother Helpage. If you were, because Mother Helpage is so multifaceted and it is in so many areas and so many regions geographically, how would you just say in a word what Mother Helpage is? What is the sort of ethos? What's the overarching? Did you say it's development, or how would you describe it?
See, in one word, I can say.
In a sentence.
When I can say in one word, I'm better to be precise. I think our vision is, from bandage to brotherhood. Rather than see people lying on the pool of blood and all the stuff, and then hatred on the name of religion, race, or region, just to abolish it. Live us togetherness. Even what we believe in, if we save a life, we can create quality minds for the future. We can invest in community resilience. Every life saved can be utilized as a pillar of development, or they can be our future leaders rather than we put them in the trauma.
Yeah.
So thing is, as I said, bandage to brotherhood is an important thing. In brotherhood, there is no religious, constraint or any
national lines or
yes, there is no things which can separate people. In this country, I came from Kashmir, a Muslim, and this country put me on the highest civilian award for my services. They didn't see where he come from. He's an immigrant, or that's the beauty. This is what
equality,
I want. That's it.
humanity.
What I want. Everybody should think about it. Unless
it's like a French slogan.
I came from. I've been honest with you. The Indian government, the Kashmir government, they are proud of me because I'm the son of the soil. I am in UK now. I'm a citizen of this country, and they are proud of me because I make my country proud. So I don't think, I'm only Kashmiri, I'm British. Even wherever I work, globe is our, this earth belongs to us. So I want wherever I work, people should respect, irrespective of my name or whatever, as a person, as a human. So that's our mission, and that's my message to the world.
Yeah, and I mean that's marvelous. And in your emergency relief and stability, so your focus is on war-torn regions. What comes first? It's like the cart and the horse. What comes first? Do you promote peace in and of yourself? Are you in regions that aren't war-torn? Or are you pretty much an anti-relief organization? And in that respect, how does that promote peace? Does it end up just getting torn back down again because of ongoing conflict?
See, if you think on the broader terms, peace is not only through wars. Peace is when I'll tell you, I was working in Haiti or other earthquake regions in Pakistan or Japan or other places. I think proper professionalism, serious delivery of work as well. Suppose we have seen some places where with a small magnitude of earthquakes, buildings collapse because the work was not right. There was bribery involved to get the cheap work done, and because of that, the innocent people lost their lives. So I think peace is the work delivery from the heart. We should not blame the wars only, but there are some countries where there's no war, but there are bridges collapse, houses collapse with the small things, and these floods happen because there is no proper infrastructure in war. So if you see overall, our research has seen that because of these small things, they happen because of lack of proper quality work as well. So there should be transparency. There should be, the controls of the work as well in those countries where these bribery. There are so many countries who are extremely, corrupt, and they cause the loss of lives for no reason because of those, those gray areas.
So, in this respect, you're also promoting peace in areas trying to uphold humanitarian laws as well. So, it may be vulnerable societies. Can you tell me a bit about how Mother Helpage has an outreach program for just vulnerable populations who are being sort of have an undersight when it comes to humanitarian law?
In terms of,
In terms of places, for example, that aren't war torn, but just very underprivileged, extremely vulnerable, those types of places. Does Mother Helpage go into places like that, and how do you find those types of places? For example, maybe places not like Sierra Leone, but maybe other places like that, like Kashmir is a conflict zone. But let's say if you had peace in the region, where are places where you're literally upholding humanitarian law?
yes.
I mean, I think of China as an example, but you're not in China, but areas like that.
No, we had work in Myanmar. If we can get as
Oh,
biggest
okay.
example, we work in
So that's a
Myanmar.
perfect example.
Yes. So yes, you know, you face a lot of. You can't. You're not that openly allowed to deliver your work. So again, so certain countries are very controlling. They don't let you deliver the work as per whatever you think. But again, we try to reach everywhere and try to talk to the governments. Some governments are support you, and sometimes governments are not, because it's their policy. We should not blame as individual if a official or a minister says no, sorry, I can't. But it is not his say; it's the say of the policy. So we don't have to raise fingers against that person, but we try to deliver what is allowed and what they can accommodate.
And would you say the role is for you at Mother Helpage as a mediator in certain conflicts? So again, balancing the whole question of how you balance that.
See, there is conflict resolution policies. There is advocacy and mediation. We can talk to the governments about this, and send them the stats. Example, if there's a war between two countries, Ukraine and Russia, example, we are seeing the Russian, these Ukrainian immigrants or the displaced people who visit our offices in the UK. We talk to them about their sufferings. They have left their families behind. Suppose wife is here, husband is there, their kids are displaced. So it's such a troublesome story they share with us, and these are the stories we then go and talk to the embassies here, telling them, look, this is what is happening, and we try to talk to our people in the government in the UK as well. Our local mayors and ministers and MPs. At least, this is what we try to say. We don't blame anybody. Russia is at the fault, or Ukraine, or whatever. We have nothing to do with that. Purely, neutrality is our integrity. We do not involve in those things to judge who is right or who is wrong. But we have this say, at least, to say, please stop this. Let's help everybody, whether it's Russian or it's Ukrainian or India or Pakistan or wherever there's a conflict. Everybody is our brother and sisters. Everybody has a soul. We need to be there for them. So this is what we want to promote and tell these people. And our other way of promoting peace is because we do developmental work in these countries. Say we do healthcare, treat people's the mental traumas, and we do developmental things. We provide them jobs so that they are not static and they only think about their trauma and troubles. So I think development is a huge respite to take people out of this negative mindset, because when you keep them busy, they have their earnings, they don't care about these things. War is for the big people who make money off it. So people
Yeah,
like
war can be
us, I
profitable.
think it's better to
What do you do about steps backwards? I mean, when you institute lots of progress in your charitable work, building schools, and then they get torn down. How do you keep yourselves motivated, and how do you overcome these types of things? Can you tell me a personal story of where some of your
yes,
infrastructure was
yes,
compromised?
I'll tell you, we have a risk management policy. Every project we have risk management. So whether it's due to the natural disasters, or it's due to wars, or it's because of vandalism as well. It's from a small individual to the governments. So,
Yeah.
example, some places we install water wells in Africa or in India. Second day, the water wells are gone because the people have sell the iron and all the stuff to the scrap yard. So that's
It's
we
quite
face these things.
discouraging. Yes.
Another thing is when in Sri Lanka we have constructed water wells and some income generation shops, and the floods have damaged them. So it's not under our control. So what we do when we tell the people, then convey them, look, this has happened, you want to support it more, or so these are the challenges definitely we face. And sometimes the wars, the big thing, when the cities get wiped out.
Well,
So
yeah. Aside, I can see that. Aside from, sort of basic, natural disasters, things that are, risk. That obviously risk that you can't really do much about. But what about in war-torn areas? Is there something that happens in rebuild or building schools and things like this that discourages violence? Is there an active discouragement in what you're doing that keeps communities less violent? I mean, do you think there is that promotion of peace in that respect? Is it
look,
sort of an esteem building, personal
no, every
self-esteem?
charity which has got a vision why they are doing the work. If your vision is clear, that
Dignity,
example,
for example.
dignity is important, but I said before as well. So dignity always is there when there's peace. So what we tend to do is teach people their responsiveness, their duties towards the community. Even I was talking to the mayor of Derby last week, and I told them, we need to teach our children their services towards the community, their after of their educational qualifications. Even example, I'll tell you, I am my neighbor. He's a Christian, and when he sometimes early in the morning they take our bins out if they leave the job for their work early before us, or if we leave, I do it. Even my 5-year-old daughter now, she now has learnt it, and last week I took him out. She said, Dad, we need to take the bin of this uncle out as well. So this is up to the family, the societies
So it's a very
to
grassroots level. So the
definitely.
more sustainability that Mother Helpage promotes,
Yeah.
the more individual dignity and the more self-respect, and therefore the more you want to stabilize that community, and that promotes peace and
Example,
ultimately.
look in Kashmir recently what happened. The tourists were coming there, and now this conflict caused problems. As I said again, I don't want to who is right, who is wrong. Unfortunately, it has caused
It's a
huge
bad thing that
trauma to the
happened.
visitors first. The people who visited there, unfortunately, they have to see this trauma, and then the local Kashmiris who are having the earnings on the visitors. So
Right.
see, is a damage
So the
for
economy is
every side.
massively impacted.
Economy is impact, and the relation is a bit of troublesome, and the people who are traveling to Kashmir, they are feared of traveling to Kashmir now. So this is the consequence of a war.
Yes.
How the war is dividing people for no reason. So that's it simply. If how it would have been better that we help each other, develop the communities, and think beyond. Okay, these days we have advanced AI and technology. Why don't we be step ahead for that? Every country should, I think, compete of showing who is more developed in giving a good life to their people, rather than I have 200 B-55s or B-52s or all this like that.
So charity is sort of in competition with weapon building.
I think charity is in competition. It should be in competition with bringing peace and negating those factors which are bringing devastation to the world. Definitely,
So there's an ethical component that
there
is
is.
educational for people
Yes.
receiving charity and people rebuilding their lives.
No, even I suggest that people who donate as well, who give charity, they shouldn't think why they need to invest. They should give it for the right cause so that they can see the light at the end of the tunnel, to see the peaceful world.
Well, let me just go back and ask you about your mom, for example. So your mother is the face and the name behind Mother Helpage. Started in the UK. Can you tell me about your mom and why she's living on through all of this charity all over the world now from her young boy? So
Yeah,
tell us about her.
I was yesterday thinking how much trouble while I was young I was given to my mom. I was very naughty boy,
So this is guilt.
Yeah, I troubled her so much. And maybe because of that, now God has given me opportunity to, replenish that and to return back something good. Because, as I said, I was really, really naughty boy. I have so many animals, and I wanted everything what was I could see on the way, and I forced my mom to get it for me, no matter what, you know. And this lady was never ever angry at me, and always being supportive. And I think her pure love for me has changed my life. I have honestly, even see, 30 years have passed, and I never feel ever that my mom is away from me for a minute. Always I find her around me, and that's the push, and that's a message for everybody to be good to your parents, be good to your children, to be good to your families, and from there, when you are good to your families and be careful and caring for each other, then and only you can be develop your communities around you. I think it should
There's
start
a
from your family.
legacy. There's
It
a
should
legacy
start
that
from the
passes
family,
down.
and once you start from the family, then and only you can, spread it across the communities in the world.
Do you think that same tenacity you had as a young boy, where you were getting in trouble and testing your mother's love, and your mother ended up being all loving, and then you became a man? And in that legacy, that skill set, you're able to turn to something good as a grown adult and spread it. And that's why you're so determined to use this charity now.
Yeah, I remember my mother once, told me that make your skin a brand, not what you wear, and be always giving. So she has taught me the life skills. People go to the professionals, and the reason I respect my mother is, she was not that university educated lady, but the input she has given me in my life is amazing, and I learned so many things from her teachings now, even after these many years of we were separated. So yes, 100%. I always think that my mom told me to be something in the world, and before I leave this world, I need to be remembered the way my mother is being remembered across the world this time. And that's my teaching of my mother's love. And the same way I'm trying to give to my four children, and so that they remember their dad and their mom, and then they can carry this legacy and teach others. And everybody we serve, whether they are in any country, I treat all of them my families. We don't treat them as our beneficiaries. So
And you
if
say that extends out to how you treat
so that's it.
the
If we
people in the
if we
world as
if we
your own.
treat them everybody as a family, so that's our family, that's the legacy, and that way we can develop, the communities, the relations with each other, irrespective of religion or race, and then we can bring peace in the world.
Oh, it's wonderful. Well, once again, it's been amazing talking to you and hearing about Mother's Help Page. And one last question. When you first started, the first year and two, what did it look like when it was its little baby Mother Help Page? What were
Everybody
those
was
early days like?
everybody was against me. They were telling me those days, like it was '94 when I lost my mother, and I was a first class cricketer as well, and I respected Imran Khan very much that time, being a cricketer and what he was doing it for his mother. So when I tried to do that, and people are saying, "Oh, now you have started becoming another Imran Khan," So because you have to follow everybody's virtues, the goodness they do. So that time people in my own family, they treat, oh, now he's going nowhere, go and study, you're a doctor, you need to complete your studies and all the stuff. But thank God I was one of the brightest students in my college, so I qualified my exams very nicely, and then came to the west to study. So you have definitely, when you start something new which your family has not vision about it, so nobody supports you. I did a lot of backlash. I got a lot of backlash from my immediate family as well. However, now they realize that no,
No, they do. So
nothing is
what
impossible.
is your number one view and vision for the future? What is the best before your final day for Mother Helpage? What do you want to see?
Through Mother Helpage, I want to, create safer societies, to see peace among us. That's it. Even anybody who lives on a very limited budget or lifestyle, I want everybody, whether it's a billionaire or a small person living in a small shelter, that satisfaction should everybody has the right to have the same feeling of satisfaction. It's not about material only. It's about how you are treated in the world as a human being.
Dignity back to
That's it. Dignity is important, no matter who you are, where you are, and how your lifestyle is.
Well, thank you, Doctor. It's been a privilege talking to you, and great, great aspirations for Mother Helpage. Thank you again.